Good evening, Head Injury Jane here. It's Christmas Day, 4:41 p.m. I must tell you, I'm really tired of being in pain all the time. There's no wonder I have high blood pressure all the time. Like my neck has been killing me for 2 hours right now. Just pure pain. And I've taken ibuprofen and I've taken Flexeril, which is a muscle relaxer because everything's so ripped up in my neck. But it's exhausting being in pain all of the time. It's hard to function, and I'm working on a book for Head Injury Jane. So not only am I doing research and I'm advocating new knowledge and new information on Twitter and on Facebook for my Head Injury Jane, but I am finding myself able to complete certain tasks in a certain amount of time, but it's also challenging because not only are are my are my executive, oh God, I'm battling. I'm battling myself to do what I need to do, and I'm in pain, and I'm doing everything on my end to combat it properly. I'm not doing things to make everything worse. It's just there. It never goes away, and I'm super tired of it. I'm super tired of being in pain all the time. The ears ringing all the time. I go in and out, right? I go in and out, and sometimes I deal with it. I'm fine. Sometimes it bothers me to the point where I just feel like I want to throw up my hands and give up. And my head is hurting, and I'm like, okay, and it's in that spot. It's just so tender and so sore on that spot where I hit. I cannot believe I'm going to go from injury on August 2013 to MRI January 2015. It's taken that long to get an MRI. I had to fire two doctors, and fought the whole way trying to get the doctors to listen to me. There is such a gap in treatment for traumatic brain, especially closed traumatic brain injuries, because they're like, oh, you look fine, go home. Go on, look at you. You're not bleeding. You don't need stitch. That just hurt where I just barely freaking touched my head. Like, whoosh, I'm like, ah. But, yeah, there's this whole misconception that you hit your head, you look fine, you go home. I mean, obviously that's been proven by the failure of the ER doctor whom I saw 5 days after my traumatic brain injury, and he did not MRI me, he did not X-ray me, he did nothing and sent me out of his establishment. I'm not done with him. I'm going to file a formal complaint with the medical board in the state of which I live, and it's going to be it's going to be detailed. And I'm going to talk about Head Injury Jane. I'm going to talk about the book and the videos and the advocacy, because you know what? Someone needs to be waking everybody up. I mean, I was absolutely not treated properly, and to be experiencing some of the things that I am experiencing still with my brain injury is terrifying. How much further am I going to slide down into this hole, right? And I'm fighting, like right now, I feel like I'm fighting just to be able to speak. Feels like my mouth is just, and this is all this headiness and, just is wearing me down. It's just wearing me down. And, I do have good doctors now in place who are working with me, but I'm exhausted. I mean, we're going into a whole other year without seeing the MRI, see what's happening in my side of my head. I'm just in so much pain. Okay, enough complaining. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful Christmas, and take great care and watch your heads and be safe out there. Head Injury Jane.